All right, welcome to brave patrons who made it through that episode and still wanted to listen to more stuff.
Okay, yeah, please tell me, JC, you have good news. You have good tidings of great joy that will settle my stomach and not upset it further.
Tidings of comfort and joy.
Exactly.
Comfort and
yeah,
joy.
yeah,
Yes. Digestive comfort and joy, please.
right. So, boy, all right. I want to start off by talking about language and translations, which I
You
love to talk
love.
about and
Yeah.
is not gross.
Yeah, great.
I mean,
It can be.
metaphorically, I guess it could be gross, you know.
In various ways.
Yeah, if you're like, it can be gross how you can manipulate translation to.
Okay, yeah,
Okay, all right,
yeah.
all right, fine. Whew. All right. So what I wanted to talk about specifically, because it's come up a little bit earlier in the Bible, but we're getting it more now, which is this word abomination. And abomination is one of these funny words in the Bible that's used a lot, but it kind of has a different meaning than it does in our modern day. Like it has a different connotation to it.
Okay.
Well, I gotta say, I don't use the word abomination often in my modern day language, but I feel like maybe I should because it is quite dramatic, isn't
It's
it?
very dramatic. You can
Yeah.
just throw that word around all the way.
Especially in inappropriate situations.
Right.
This
Um,
popsicle is an abomination.
Exactly.
I definitely want to hear someone say that. Oh boy. Okay. So an abomination, like for us, has this, modern day connotation of being like wicked or vile or awful or terrible, right?
Oh, yeah.
But in the Bible, there's a couple different words, actually five different words, I think.
Jeez.
Five different Hebrew words that all get translated as abomination in most modern Bibles, with some variation. But there's two or three kind of main ones that are used most often. So I guess the first thing to realize here is that in general, the meaning for abomination in the Bible conveys more of a sense of, more like the word taboo. It's more like it's a taboo than an abomination. It's not like this horrible, wicked, awful thing, but it's like, this is a thing we don't do. This is a thing outside of our beliefs or outside of our culture. And I guess could also be used for things that were crimes. So it kind of covers like a little bit of a range of things.
Okay.
But yeah, according to this here, it's something that's forbidden or unclean according to religion, especially one particular of the Hebrew words, which is sheketz, which is SHEQ or KETS or Z. There's different transliterations of the words. So that one specifically, sheketz and shakatz, are similar words to each other, and those are used in this section we were reading about dietary restrictions, from what I'm understanding here.
Okay.
And that those are pretty much used mostly for dietary things. And then there's a couple other words. One is shikutz, and then another one totally different that's like toeba, I think is how you say it. I really have no idea. Totally different word, but also gets translated as abomination or sometimes as detestable or loathsome. And those we will get to later in Leviticus, that those are used more in referring to things having to do with like sex or deceit
I
or
see. So
murder, but also for unclean foods.
Huh.
So there's like some crossover between them. It's
so
a
there's
little
some
bit of a...
different shades, but also crossover.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's another word, but it's not used as often. It's I think.
I mean, I like kind of singing
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
into existence there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't quite know here. Anyway, so sheketz is the one that's used for like this food stuff about eating the birds and things like that. So anyway, just sort of more that it's like, these are taboo. It's not saying like these birds or these creatures are bad or evil or wicked or something. I just feel like that's worth talking about now, because I know this word's going to keep getting used in the Bible, and I think it's worth clarifying because at least I remember as a kid reading that and being like, whoa, like
It is very
know.
dramatic.
Yes.
sick burn on all types of ravens out of nowhere.
Any type of raven.
Any type of raven.
Can I talk about insects real quick?
Yes.
Because we were like four-legged insects. What the heck is that? And so apparently, yes, like an insect now, as we know it, has 6 legs. An arachnid has 8, but an insect has 6.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay. Apparently, let's see. Apparently, they used to see the back hind legs, like on something like a grasshopper,
Uh-huh.
as not legs, but they were like different things altogether. And the front 4 legs they would classify as the
So they're like,
legs.
so those are just like your jumpers.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, I
the
got my
jumpy,
4 legs
the
and
jumpy
my
legs.
and my jumpies.
Your jumpers.
So yes, okay. Yes. It says
Okay,
all insects
okay.
have at least 6 legs. They are members of the large and varied arthropod phyla.
Arthropod.
There it is.
Arthropod, yeah.
Which includes also the 8-legged spiders, the multi-legged centipedes. I'm sorry, I said that word. As well as crabs. Anything with segmented legs. Some insects also have wings, but those don't count as legs.
Duh.
So locusts, yes, have 2 large hind legs, quite different in appearance, size, and function from the front 4 legs. And the front
see.
legs are used for crawling, clinging, and climbing, while their back legs rest above their front legs and feet and are used
the
for jumping.
legs
They're above
the
their feet.
Oh, there it is. There
it
it
all
is.
makes sense now.
Thank you, ICR.org. I don't know what this is.
Okay.
So yeah. Okay.
Oh.
So the Hebrew word translated beetle actually came from the verb to leap, implying a similar leaping insect, not our modern beetle. Thus, the
Right.
biblical description of grasshoppers turns out to be exactly anatomically correct. Far from being an embarrassment to Bible believers, the passage bears sterling testimony to the accuracy.
This is
Okay,
this is
all
an
right, all
apologist
right,
website.
all right.
Scripture.
Yeah.
This
Now we're
is-
getting a little carried away.
That's
here.
hilarious.
A Bible apologist website.
But okay, I guess it makes sense because it
for
seems like
creation research.
it seems like
Oh,
pretty
okay.
much the only insects that were listed as okay to eat were any kind of jumpy insects.
jumps.
The jumpy jumps were okay.
Yeah, just
The
jumpy
others
jumps.
not okay.
Not the creepy crawls, not the
No.
spinny winnies,
No.
not the,
The
flippy
crabby
flaps,
wabbies.
not the cribby crabbies.
Right.
Kirby Krabs.
None of those things. Well,
Oh boy.
wow. Just desert nomadic life
Yeah.
centuries, millennia ago. That sounds just like a rough time. I'm really glad that I have access to things like soap and antibiotics and yeah.
Speaking of antibiotics,
Uh.
I want to talk to you guys. I want to dispel some myths about leprosy, actually.
Okay.
Dispel some myths.
Is it going to make me feel better?
You know, I think it actually might. I think
Really?
it actually might.
Well,
Okay.
we
It might.
can hope so.
Okay. First of all,
Yes.
we were correct that leprosy is a bacteria.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, the modern medical name for it is Hansen's disease.
Huh.
But
Mbop, yeah.
Ba, ba.
Named after the pop group of the same name, yeah.
Oh, sick burn.
Okay, here's one. Interestingly, the question is, do fingers and toes fall off when someone has leprosy? And no,
oh, really?
no.
Heads, fingers, knees, and toes?
It does. It
Yeah.
does. It attacks the nerve endings and the ability to feel pain, like you were talking about. So people can injure themselves severely, and these can become infected, and
I
then you could
see. So it's
lose
kinda like
fingers or
getting
toes
the-
or something.
This isn't making me feel better, James.
But they don't just fall off. Like that's a myth. That's not actually true.
But it can lead to them falling off.
if you whack them on stuff too much.
Oh,
Okay.
whack-a-mole. Whack-a-finger.
Anyway, it can cause like bones and cartilage to shorten and stuff like that, but not actually to fall off. So that's a myth. But here's a good one for you.
Okay.
And that is that approximately 95% of the population of the world has a natural immunity to leprosy.
Whoa. 95%? That's a ton.
Yeah, so most people will never develop the disease even if they're exposed to it.
Wait a minute. What about like back in biblical times?
Yeah, I don't know if that's something we've developed
That's
over the
fascinating.
thousands of years since Leviticus
Huh.
or what.
Fascinating.
I don't know.
Well,
right?
I guess it would make.
Would it? Would it make
I
sense?
don't know if it makes sense. Does it make sense?
No, nothing makes sense. I'm
Nothing
sorry.
makes
I
sense
retract my
anymore.
statement.
Yeah.
You're like,
Although
no.
this one was a little bit upsetting on this website, which is leprosy.org.
Oh.
Well,
if you have more
leprosy.org.
questions, go there. Is that they say, like, in most cases you can get leprosy if you have long-term contact with a person who has the disease but is not being treated for it. And then this one sentence here that I find highly upsetting: scientists don't fully understand how leprosy is spread. I'm just like, but it's literally been thousands of years. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, I guess, yeah, like the natural immunity thing. I mean, a lot of people are immune to it. I don't know.
I guess,
I
yeah.
don't know. I don't know.
Anyway, I thought that was just
Hi.
bonkers.
Well, I just feel really sad. I mean, I feel sad for the people in this world who do have leprosy. and
Yeah.
I hope they're getting
That-
treated.
that's
I'm glad
awful.
we have antibiotics, and I hope they have access to them.
I
So I
can
feel
tell
really
you that.
defeated by it's just
Yeah.
this episode put me through the ringer.
I can tell you that approximately 150 people are diagnosed with leprosy each year in
That's
the
it?
United States.
Oh.
Just in the United States.
Okay.
Approximately 5,000 people in the U.S. are cured, but suffer some of the effects of leprosy and continue to
Okay.
receive care.
Okay.
But if they are getting treated, after 1 week of treatment, they're not contagious anymore.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
See, Dedeker,
Yeah.
no problem. You're fine.
But they may have to take those antibiotics for 6 months to a year,
That's a
or
long time.
possibly longer.
Yeah.
Do you think they're isolated for that first week, like they are in the Bible?
I would probably put in a
Maybe.
hospital room. I would.
I guess that would make sense.
Yeah.
Though.
They're
Like
in a
we need to make sure
quarantine.
this doesn't get
Yeah.
out anywhere. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I
Can
guess
people
that's
get leprosy
comforting.
from armadillos?
Oh, I have heard that myth. Is that true?
There. Yes, there is one particular.
Armadillo?
Yeah, like
There's
one.
just one
Just a
armadillo.
single
One
There's
armadillo.
one jackass armadillo that's
Yes.
wandering around.
Specifically, these 9-banded armadillos
Oh.
have been found to carry one strain of this bacteria. They're the only non-human animal that have been found to carry it.
So don't touch armadillos.
So yeah, maybe just to be safe, unless you know you're one of the 95%, don't touch the armadillos.
Jeez.
Well, there's
Yeah.
just. Ugh.
But good news too, if you have leprosy and you're pregnant, chances are you're gonna have a perfectly healthy baby
Oh, that's
and
good.
not pass it along.
That's good.
Okay,
so
good.
So that's good.
I'm sorry.
there's some good news here.
You keep talking about comforting things, and nothing's fully comforting me.
Fair.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
Okay, I'll take comfort in the fact that it's like if I catch leprosy, first of all, low chance that I will catch leprosy.
You
at
know,
all.
there's a high chance that you're completely immune to
High
it.
chance I'm very immune, if you're not completely immune.
Well, very immune.
And if I do catch it, there's antibiotics. There's a way to cure it.
You can
It's
still have,
treatable.
still have babies if you
You
want
can
them.
catch it. You know, if you prevent, catch it early on.
Yeah.
Here's
Okay.
here's some good news for you too. Also, it's not transmitted through sexual contact,
Yeah.
Oh, good.
so no worries there.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Also, I do just want to clarify for everyone here that it is not okay to use the word leper to
yeah, I
describe to
didn't
someone
think
with
so.
leprosy. That would
I didn't
seemed
think
like
so.
Yeah.
seemed
I
obvious.
thought for sure
but
they'd be kind of skirting up against some sensitivity issues here.
For sure.
yeah, yeah. So the word leper today is considered offensive to the hundreds of thousands affected by the disease.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Probably just Hansen's disease is the better one to use anyway. That's what I would go with if I had it. Right. And then people would just sing that and then they'd forget what we were talking about and
Well,
move
it's true
on.
though. It's like yes, you know what? It does make sense, especially like if I go to my dermatologist and they're like, "Oh, so you have this like very rare thing. It's called Hansen's disease. This is what's going to happen. We're going to put you on antibiotics. Like, it's okay. We're going to clear it right up." And be like, "Oh, okay. Well, okay. There's a plan." But it's like if my dermatologist is like, "You got leprosy," and I'd be like,
You're like, do I have to walk around shouting unclean and covering my
And I
upper
guess the
lip?
same thing if you're trying to disclose that to other people as well.
Yeah.
Like Hansen's disease.
Right.
Yeah.
It
That's a
used to
better way
be
to go.
called this other thing, but it's Hansen's disease.
Most people are immune to it.
totally treatable.
Don't worry. I'm on antibiotics right now. It's no
Yeah.
big deal.
Not contagious.
Yeah.
It's all good.
contagious.
All
Wow.
right. Wow.
Lots of learning to be had here.
Yeah, for sure.
I hope we can learn about some more fun things next time.
Yeah, we're in need of fun things for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Leviticus has been it's been a time.
Okay. We're going to go have Dedeker smell some mint or something kind
Something
of
refreshing.
calming. Maybe make you some mint tea.
That'd be
Ooh,
great.
yum.
Yeah.
Mint tea.
All right. See you next time.
Yeah.